Have you ever thanked God for sorrow? That might sound strange, right? But the Bible talks about a specific kind of sorrow that leads to life and joy. It's called godly sorrow. 2 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 10 says, "Godly sorrow brings repentance that leads to salvation and leaves no regret, but worldly sorrow brings death." There's something powerful about understanding the difference between the two. Today, we'll see how godly sorrow, though painful, is actually a loving gift from God. Let's start with what godly sorrow isn't. Worldly sorrow is regret over being caught or grieving the consequences of sin. It focuses on self. But godly sorrow is different. It comes when we see our sin through God's eyes. We don't just feel bad for making a mistake. Instead, we're broken over how our actions have separated us from a holy and loving God. Psalm 51, verse 17 says, "The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. O God, you will not despise." This kind of sorrow brings us to our knees, but it doesn't leave us there. Instead, it leads us to Him. Repentance is the bridge. It's not merely confessing sin, though confession is important. It's also turning away from that sin and turning toward God. Think about the story of the prodigal son in Luke chapter 15. The younger son didn't just feel bad for squandering everything. He got up, turned from his old life, and went home. That's repentance. And do you remember how the father responded? He saw his son from a distance, ran to him, and celebrated his return. God meets us with the same grace. True repentance doesn't lead to shame. It leads to forgiveness, freedom, and joy. Let me share a quick example. I once heard of a man who came to faith later in life. He had decades of poor decisions and broken relationships. When he first encountered godly sorrow, he said it was like looking into a mirror for the first time, really seeing himself in the light of God's holiness. It broke him, but that breaking opened the door to healing. He repented, not just to God but also to his family, asking for forgiveness. Over time, his life became a testimony of how sorrow and repentance can lead to restoration and deep peace. Godly sorrow isn't something to avoid. It's an invitation to draw closer to God. Hebrews chapter 12, verse 6 reminds us, "The Lord disciplines the one He loves." If He's stirring your heart with conviction, it's because He loves you too much to leave you where you are. Godly sorrow isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of joy found in reconciliation with Him. So if the Spirit is pressing on your heart about something today, don't resist it. Lean in. A heart broken in His presence is the gateway to a life restored by His grace. When we embrace godly sorrow, we're reminded of the beauty of God's patience. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9 tells us that God is patient with us, not wanting anyone to perish, but everyone to come to repentance. What a comfort to know that God's grace waits for us. Even when we've strayed, He lovingly calls us back. True repentance isn't about achieving perfection. It's about realigning our hearts with His. And the promise of joy on the other side of sorrow is worth every step of the journey. Take a moment to reflect. Is there a place in your life where you need godly sorrow and true repentance? Share this with someone who needs hope. Comment which verse spoke to you.